You know, sometimes critiquing a movie can be one of the biggest challenges ever. At least it is for this movie. On the one hand, this movie sucks. And yet I had an absolute blast watching most of it. The Garfield movie is all at the same time brilliant, bad, and mostly bonkers. The Garfield movie is my biggest guilty pleasure movie of 2024. Let me explain. Hi all, I'm the Grinning Critic and I love talking about movies with a grin. Luckily today, I can talk about the Garfield movie with a big grin on my face because I had tons of fun watching this movie, even though it's filled with so many issues that I could spend all day nitpicking apart. There are some movies where you need to be thinking heavily about the plot to understand it. The Garfield movie is the kind of movie that to be able to enjoy it, you just need to turn off your brain. There are so many stupid, dumb, illogical choices that happen in this movie, but it's so entertaining to watch at the same time. There is literally an app in this movie that humans can use to translate the voice of cats into a human voice, and the cats can use this app for the same purpose as vice versa. That was such a funny idea. And I'll be honest with you, the jokes in this movie really work. I was laughing quite a lot. Yes, this movie is juvenile humour, and yes, it's overdone a little bit, but that doesn't mean that the jokes aren't on the most part really funny. But on a more mature level of looking at film, this movie actually has some pretty deep themes in it that most people will go unnoticed. There's a really deep theme about emotional satisfaction one receives from seeking revenge, and the desire that one will go to be one another. They were both really fascinating themes. That being said, does that fit what a Garfield movie is supposed to do? Absolutely no. This movie is a dramatic failure at understanding the character of Garfield. And that's the thing that bugs me most about this movie. It's just how insultingly this movie treats its fan base. Garfield as a character is endlessly popular, and he's existed since the 70s. So when you've got an IP that you're adapting that has a multi-generational fan base, you should try and appeal to these fans and not make it just targeted at a specific age demographic. A really good example of this is 2015's The Peanuts movie. But this movie is only interested in appealing to the younger generation, which feels odd to me, given that they would probably only vaguely know Garfield, or they know him as one of the guys that played Spider-Man. And that would explain why the film feels like a generic kids film, filled with a basic plot that we've seen 500 times before, a stupid romance plot, and largely revolving around Garfield doing a heist while referencing the Mission Impossible franchise excessively. And it's why the movies receive this marketing, to get the younger generation excited for this movie. There's a part of me that feels like they had a script for this generic kids film that was an original IP, but the screenwriters just quickly snapped up a random IP that they could get their hands on just so they could be sure that the movie would make more box office sales and added a few nods to that character just so they could make a good teaser that would get the fans excited. And I honestly think treating an IP like that is worse than making an original film that doesn't make a whole lot of money. You want the fans to go and see the movie, and if you treat them poorly, they won't see your movie. In conclusion, the Garfield movie is a terrible treatment of a beloved IP, but at the same time, it's a really entertaining, fun watch. I'm going to give the Garfield movie a C+. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'm the Grinning Critic, and don't forget to subscribe to me. It'll keep me grinning, that's for sure.